Welcome to the Shortwave Radio channel, and the image you see here is part of what is the Okeechobee transmitter site down in Florida, WRMI's transmitter site. And the reason we are showing this is because a major shortwave event happened this weekend. We can call it like that. Here, we're not going to talk about the person or the controversies or surrounding it. We will avoid that language and that talk, but we will talk about the shortwave effect of all of this. So, of course, Brother Stare has passed away on Saturday. And he is a guy that is behind a big chunk of shortwave broadcasting across U.S. broadcasters like WRMI, WWCR, WBCQ, and WTWW. And the first thing that will come to mind here is we know that these shortwave broadcasters rent airtime, and that's how they stay up and running, and that's how everything is going ahead. The idea here is, first of all, will be very blunt. It's fine if the Overcomer ministry goes away, and that's it. There's too much of that on the shortwave bands, and it's not a nice representation of I think what shortwave should be. That said, how important was the money going into the broadcasters to maintain them and keep them alive is the question here mostly. What will happen to the broadcasters? Now, if we look at other religious broadcasters, Dr. Gene Scott, for example, that passed away, their ministry still continues to be on the air on shortwave, as if nothing ever happened. And so what is going to happen to the Overcomer Ministries? Do they have a plan and are just going to continue? And we won't see any difference except we'll hear old recordings. I don't know. The other thing is, if all of that disappears, so we have shortwave broadcasters that will have a lot of airtime that now will not have any, not rented anymore. What's the impact? Not having hours and hours of Brother Stare is fine. I don't have any problem with that. As long as maybe there is at least a minimum kept up of, what they could do and rent airtime to other broadcasters, and at least continue having the airtime for what most of us listen to, like WRMI, like the relays of the international broadcasts and the DX shows and stuff like that. If all that's left is at least they continue doing that, it's all right. Could it have an impact to a point where broadcasters might now have no more cash flow and will shut down? That is something to look at. Losing the U.S. broadcasters has an effect in North America mostly. Honestly, it's really mostly North America that is affected here because remove most of these broadcasters. In Europe, there's tons of shortwave broadcasts from different countries and different local transmitter sites there. When you listen in Europe, it's, shortwave is alive and well in Europe. And of course, in the rest of the world, it's alive and well mostly. It's really North America where not a lot of broadcasters are beaming towards us that it gets complicated. In a survey, it's been interesting to look at what survey. I've noticed one thing, and we might actually be overreacting a little in some way, meaning that If WRMI disappears, yes, we're going to have a lot of relays and things that are gone in the evening, for example, and that would be, it would show, we would see a difference. But still, there are some other broadcasters we hear in. I've been doing a scan yesterday of the bands in the late afternoon here. And honestly, I didn't stop on any U.S. broadcasters for hours. I had a lot of things to listen to that weren't, that were something else. I listened to Radio France. I had Radio Romania. I heard Voice of Turkey. I heard the BBC. I've heard NHK Radio Japan. I've heard some other broadcasters, China Radio. I've heard there were a few more that I have actually received over there over the broadcast. I heard the 10-minute French broadcast from Radio Algeria. So what I notice is that my dependence on U.S. broadcasters for broadcast is not that high, but yet it's still not zero. When we get into the evening, it is definitely fun to have Argentina and Prague and Slovakia aired over these broadcasters. I was listening to Voice of the Report of the Week of VORW yesterday, and of course he was talking about what is going to happen to the broadcasters, what effect will it have, and could it have an effect on his show. I think that's pretty much where we're all probably thinking, what will be the effect, the real effect in reality to the broadcasters. And only time will tell, and we'll see what's going to happen there. If you have your own comments, please do. Do not post any religious-related comments or related comments to who he was and what he was and how he was. This is not what it's all about. This video is about now, what do we think of the future of U.S. broadcasting on shortwave? If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.